I feel like the last couple of days of motherhood has kicked my ass. So there is something about being the default parent. You know, I'm married. I have 3 children. My husband and I have been married for 15 years. My husband is a very, very, very present father. But there's still something about being a default parent. The default parent is the one that is making the calls to X, Y, and Z to make sure that the appointment is set. The default parent is the first parent that is called when something happens at the school, when something happens at the doctor, when something happens at daycare. Like, the default parent is the one that like catches all the balls and puts all the pieces together. And when I say I have gotten a gold medal, I've gotten a couple of gold medals this week in being the default parent. Like, it blows me. I have been a default parent as a stay-at-home mom. I have been a default parent as a working mom. It is possibly the most ghetto thing ever. And just with the makeup of our family, it makes sense for me to be the default parent because my husband's job is further away. And like, I'm usually the one that's closer. But damn, oh my goodness. And I was telling my husband, I was just like, I don't think you understand the weight that is put on your brain when you're the default parent. God bless single moms and single dads. My dad was a single dad for years, and I was home helping my dad before I went to college. I remember making the decision to go to college later because of the weight that I saw on my dad being a single dad. And so that's not the case with my situation. When it is 2 of you in the household and you do not have like the grandmother that lives around the corner, like my childhood, or the aunts that live around the corner that don't work too far from the school, like, it is literally putting together a puzzle almost every single day. And I'm just like, sometimes I just feel like you just need to take a breather and just try to like plan your joy in between. Yesterday, my middle child is in a choir and they perform around the city of Los Angeles. And this particular day, yesterday, the performance was in Beverly Hills. We don't live close to Beverly Hills. We live closer to Pasadena. So if you're familiar with LA, you know that it is far, especially when the call time is 5 p.m. and you need to be there. So, you know, I put together some things to make that happen so that he could get dropped off with the choir director. And then my daughter has to be picked up from daycare at 4:30 based off the time that I dropped her off. And then my son was going to an event that started at 5:30. Not too far, but still it was on the other side of town. I literally had to take a moment to breathe yesterday. In my brain, I'm always thinking about, and I know this is not healthy, but I'm always thinking about how it was possibly easier for my parents because they had grandparents. Like, my grandparents literally lived streets away. Like, nobody was ever too far for a ball to be dropped. In the event of anything dropping, my grandfather could just pop up whenever he needed to and pick us up from school. But when you live away from family and that is not an option, I just really needed to give myself a moment yesterday and pat myself on the back because I'm like, you're doing a lot. It's just the chemical makeup of like who we are. Like, we are all naturally doing a lot, and we have to give ourselves credit and give ourselves a break because, woo, oh my gosh. All right. Happy hump day.